What's going on, guys? Today I'm back with another H.A.T format replay review for you guys. If you're interested in sending in your H.A.T format replays, you can go down to the video description and find all the information on how to go about doing that. But anyways, the match I have for you today, we have Eternal Sunshine, who is going to be on Noble Knights, versus N-Speed, who is going to be on Geargia Hands. This should be a very interesting match, so let's get straight into it. Here we see opening hands, Excalibur and Torrential Tribute, Dristan, Noble Knight Brothers, and Reinforcement of the Army. And on the other side, we see Accelerator, Arsenal, Fiendish Chain, another Arsenal, and Solemn Warning. It looks like N-Speed did win the Rock, Paper, Scissors, so they will get to start this one out, and they get to draw for turn, getting a copy of MST. So a pretty solid hand from them starting out. Here they're going to normal summon the copy of Arsenal. Then they're going to special summon Geargiano, use Geargiano to bring back the copy of Arsenal here. Then they're going to go and special summon the copy of Accelerator from hand, go for Geargigan X, detach a material to search another copy of Accelerator. And from here, they're just going to set 3 back row and over to Eternal Sunshine, who gets a copy of Soul Charge. They have a pretty solid hand, but going second, it's a little weaker, that is for sure. So let's see how they're going to play this out. Here, they're going to start by going Rhoda for Madrat. And from there, they're going to normal summon Noble Knight Brothers. And that is going to get met with Solemn Warning. Unfortunate. So here, maybe had they gone for, say, summon Madrat, and if N-Speed would have warninged it, they could have gone for Soul Charge, but I think the Fiendish Chain and MST would kind of just check all of those plays regardless. Also, Excalibur isn't one of the ones that can re-equip, so that is a little unfortunate. They wouldn't have really had the main Noble Knight combo you want to go for, because in order for that to be live, you need to have the Madrat plus one of the re-equipables. But anyways, it looks like they are just setting the Torrential and passing it over to N-Speed, but it looks like in the end phase, the MST is going to come down popping the Torrential, and N-Speed draws a copy of Fire Hand for turn. From here, they're going to go Geargigan X effect, and search a copy of MK2, and let's see what they do from here. I mean, they have so much gas, they're doing a bit of thinking here. It looks like they're going to normal summon Arsenal, special summon Accelerator, tribute the Arsenal for a copy of Armor, overlay both for a Geargigan X, and from here they're going to add back a copy of Accelerator and just go battle phase, pushing in for a pretty solid amount of damage, passing it over to Eternal Sunshine, who gets a copy of Upstart Goblin, activates Upstart, gets a copy of Guinevere. That's definitely a very strong draw here, though. Again, they're still just in this awkward position. So let's see what they end up doing here. They're going to summon the Madrat and equip it with the Excalibur. And on the equip, it looks like N-Speed is going to chain that copy of Fiendish Chain, and this might just be game almost. Oh, but the Soul Charge is going to come down, special summoning the copy of Brothers. And I guess because, this is negated, it doesn't have the kind of effect that comes with it being equipped, where it increases its level. So this is going to be a level 4, so they can make a rank 4 here, which is at least something. Going for a copy of Honor Arc in Defense to take the Gear Gigant that has a material. After that, it looks like they're just going to pass. N-Speed gets a copy of Breakthrough Skill. Again, they just still have so much, having this MK2 that they're normal summoning and using the effect, plus the Accelerator in hand, and now drawing into a copy of Breakthrough Skill as well. It's just very, very strong and in a commanding position. Here, they're going to bring back the Accelerator, special summon the Accelerator from hand, overlay for a copy of Black Ship of Corn, which they can use the effect and send the Honor Arc and do 1,000 damage, and that is enough for Eternal Sunshine to scoop it up. So moving on into game number 2, they will get to start this one out, and Noble Knight, going first can be extremely strong. Opening hands, we see double Madrat, Guinevere, Destiny, and Royal Decree, which might actually be very strong, though I already see in N-Speed's hand they have a copy of MST, as long as they also have the Fiendish Chain, Fire Hand, Geargiano, MK2, and a Soul Charge, and here Eternal Sunshine will get to draw for turn, getting a copy of Soul Charge. Normal Madrat, equip the Destiny, which is one of the re-equipables and is also a very strong effect, making so once per turn the equipped monster can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. Very, very strong. Now here they're going to go through the main line, special summoning a copy of Boars, and then the Destiny falls off. Destiny re-equips to the Boars. The Boars can now reveal 3 and add 1 to hand, revealing Gallatin, Excalibur, and Caliburn, getting the copy of Excalibur and sending the other 2 to graveyard. From here, they're going to equip the Excalibur to the Madolche. So now both are level 5s, and they can go for the Sacred Noble Knight of King Artorgus, which can use its effect and re-equip some of these equips, going for the Caliburn, Excalibur, and Destiny. So once per turn, this won't be able to be destroyed by battle or card effects. I'm pretty sure that's what I had just said with that one. If this face-up card, wait, no, it's this one. Once per turn, the equipped monster cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Yes. And then Excalibur is going to make so it can't be targeted. Caliburn's going to give it a little bit of a boost. And then also they can gain 500 life points from that, which is very good. It kind of becomes a towers here in a sense. So they're just readjusting the stats, then gaining some life here. Next, they're going to equip the Guinevere from hand, so it's going to give it another little boost. And also, because this is a light monster, if the equipped monster would be destroyed by a card effect, you can destroy this card instead. So extra protection there again, and they have the decree to back it up, so some of these traps won't really work. Again, the MST is there, so that kind of checks that, but even then, very strong. This Fire Hand isn't going to do a whole lot here, so we will see what happens here. They're going to set it, and just pass over to End Speed, who gets a copy of Fiendish Chain. So they're going to take some time to think here, setting the Fire Hand and 3 back row. In the end phase, Eternal Sunshine is going to flip that decree, and, you know, End Speed has to let that go because the MST was set this turn, and being quick play means they can't activate it the same turn it's set. And Eternal Sunshine will then draw into a copy of Rhoda, which again is a very strong draw here. Eternal Sunshine's zones are clear, kind of clogged here, so, you know, the Rhoda might not be live right now, but we will see how they actually play it out if they choose to go for, say, the Madolche and try to do pressure, though, I mean, at that rate, it could fall victim to this Fire Hand here, so let's actually see what ends up happening here. They're going to use the effect of the King Artorgus, which says you can detach an Xyz material from this card, then target one other monster on the field, destroy that target. So they're able to pop the Fire Hand here, which is very good. And let's see what they're going to do. They are going to let it go. I guess what they could have been thinking is if they want to go for, say, like Fiendish Chain and then chain the MST here. So then this is has that, but at the same time, the Excalibur makes so it can't be targeted. So they actually probably couldn't have done that. Yeah, let me just, this also has the rank up ability, but it says it cannot be targeted by an opponent's card effect. So even then, they didn't really have a good play here because they couldn't have even done that. So moving along, they just go to battle phase and do some damage. Hopefully they remember, oh, they're just going to end phase. They aren't going to take the extra life points here. Given, you know, this is just a once per turn ability, maybe they just forgot here. And over to End Speed, who gets a copy of Geargia Gear, which is a very good draw here. Back over to Eternal Sunshine, who gets a copy of Brothers, which they're going to summon and attempt to use the effect, and Fiendish Chain is activated. Here is the MST, so they can do that, so that at least, you know, stops some of the pressure here, and it now turns back on the Fiendish Chain if they, you know, Eternal Sunshine finds a way to keep extending here. And here, Caliburn, they are going to remember. And, oh, they're going to go for a Soul Charge, bringing back the Boars. Interesting play here. Maybe just to make an Xyz here. They're going to go Rhoda for Gwaine. Okay, so they are going to go for another rank 4. Going for the regular Artorgus, which, do they have equips engraved? They do. They have the Gallatin. Okay, so this is kind of cool. So this has the ability, the Artorgus, that will be able to equip one. So... oh, but it looks like End Speed is going to chain the other Fiendish Chain. Eternal Sunshine goes to end phase. End Speed is going to activate the Geargia Gear, getting a Geargiano and an MK2, and then drawing for turn a copy of MST, which is very good. Maybe an Exiton play. Let me see what the cards are at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they can definitely go for an Exiton play, though the King here would be protected because of the Destiny. And I guess maybe also the Guinevere, so not really a great out here. So let's see actually what they're going to do. Taking some time to think, definitely understandable here. They're going to go for an Xyz. They're going to go for a Geargia next. Okay, detaching the Geargiano to add a copy of Arsenal. And from here, they're going to summon the Arsenal, use the effect, tributing it off to go for Accelerator. And maybe they're going to go a Soul Charge play here. They are. Okay. Let's see what they end up targeting here. Bringing back Firehand. Just Firehand. Okay, so maybe just walling up a little. No, not even. Going for a Exciton here. Okay, so just trying to get the Geargia and X, or maybe some of this other stuff into rotation here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, definitely enough to do this. And they're going to go for Exciton. Everything is going to get destroyed, but obviously this gets protected. And then the Gear Gigant is going to trigger, but let me see, when this card leaves the field, you can target one level 3 or lower Geargia monster in your graveyard, special summon that target. So going for the Geargiano here, and I believe all of these Noble Arms minus the Excalibur and the Guinevere will be able to trigger here to re-equip. And so they're taking a second to think, going for Destiny to re-equip. Oh, but MST, so now this only can refloat once. So they actually do clear that here. Here, Geargiano is going to be able to be activated. Or wait, what are they doing? Oh, they're chaining the Exciton. And here, the Artorgus does have the floating ability that says, let me just see here. You can, if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target one level 4 or higher Noble Knight monster in your graveyard and special summon that target. So getting the boars to at least have a body on board, and then passing over to Eternal Sunshine. So honestly, going for the Exciton again was just to kind of clear this, but again, Eternal Sunshine is still in just a really good position because now this Exciton has no materials, though I guess it wouldn't have really mattered because obviously this could walk over the Exciton at that rate anyways, but they do have this Gawain, which is, it's going to be able to special summon because the Boars is considered a normal monster. Plus, they have extra pressure from Madolche if they really wanted to. So I still feel that Eternal Sunshine is in a really good position this game. Moving along, though, let's see. Eternal Sunshine is going to activate the Guinevere to equip to Boars from Graveyard. It gains a little bit of attack, then going for the Boars effect, revealing Destiny, Arfaduder, and I believe that was another Excalibur, which it was. Next, the other two go to Graveyard. And they're going to normal summon Madolche, special summon Gawain, again, because now the Madolche is considered a normal monster because it's not equipped with anything. So they can just summon that. The Gawain is in defense. Next, they're going to equip the Excalibur to the Madolche, so now this does increase its level by 1, same with how the Boars is now increased by 1. And from here, they're going to overlay both for another copy of the King Artorgus, and use the ability to equip 3, going for Gallatin, Excalibur, and Destiny, increasing some stats, and then going for the Soul Charge here. Okay, going for Madolche, another copy of the Sacred Artorgus, and the Brothers here. So just trying to put up a big board in a more simplified game state, which, you know, makes sense. Overlaying for a copy of Dweller. Okay, very interesting. And then going for the Sacred's effect, which again is going to be able to target another monster on the field and destroy it. Here, probably just going for this Accelerator, which is why they went for Dweller, so this won't be able to re-add one from Graveyard. And that's exactly what they're going to do. After that, Brothers effect is going to be able to shuffle 3 to then draw 1, I'm pretty sure. And yep, getting a copy of Boars and then just passing here. And Speed gets a copy of Blackhorn a little late, unfortunately. And yeah, that is enough to go for a game 3, understandably so. Speed will get to go first, so if they open good, they do have the advantage here. Opening hands, we see Madolche, Upstart Goblin, Dark Hole, Excalibur, Upstart Goblin, and on the other side, we see Solemn Warning, Fiendish Chain, Geargia Armor, Max C, and MST, and they also will get a draw for turn, getting a copy of Ice Hand. So honestly, a very strong start from Speed. And had Eternal Sunshine gone first, a pretty okay hand. Again, having this Excalibur, which isn't a re-equipable, isn't always great, but even going second, this Dark Hole is strong, and maybe even what they draw off of the upstarts can be very strong here, so we will have to see. So here, it looks like Armor will be set, and then 3 back row set. Back over to Eternal Sunshine now, who's going to use Upstart, getting a copy of Arfaduder, which is honestly one of the weaker equips, though it is a re-equipable, and actually in this situation, it might actually be good, because this can pop set cards, and not only is it like pop set back row, but this can also pop set monsters. So if Eternal Sunshine has the read that this is an armor or something, then they could actually attempt to go and try to pop this, though the Fiendish Chain and Warning is there, so that could be a little risky. And also they do have the Dark Hole, so if they wanted to fire that a little early, that also is a possibility, just to kind of play around in case that is a fire or ice hand. Though it's kind of weird sometimes to activate the Dark Hole super early, but let's see what they do here. Going for the second copy of Upstart, getting a copy of Mind Control. Okay, so now that's very strong. Normal Summoning Brothers, and that is going to be met with the Solemn Warning. And now Dark Hole will be able to be activated, so they will get rid of that armor, so that is good. Just passing over to End Speed, who top decks a copy of MK2, so that is a very, very strong top deck here. They are going to summon it and be able to get back that armor, and next they're going to go Battle Phase, attack in for 1,000. In main phase 2, they're going to flip the armor down, back over to Eternal Sunshine, who gets a copy of Guinevere. Let's see, they're going to go summon Madrot, equip the Arfaduder, and End Speed is going to think here for a second. They say it's good. They're going to use the Arfaduder to pop the set, but MST is going to be able to be activated. And here the Arfaduder will re-equip, so now they can use it again. Again, going after that back row. And yeah, they're even saying here they thought it was a once per turn, but it is a once per turn, but the re-equip resets that. So, you know, kind of an unfortunate situation here, and the armor will get popped. So now we'll have to see if they go for the Fiendish Chain here or the Max C. And it looks like they are going to let it go through, letting the Max C go through, because now the Arfaduder will not be able to re-equip because it's already used it once. And here Boars is going to be special summon, and Speed draws a copy of Breakthrough Skill. The Arfaduder falls off, and next Guinevere is going to be able to equip to the Boars, so then the Boars can use its effect, going for Destiny, Caliburn, and Excalibur, and getting a copy of Caliburn and sending the other two to grave, equipping to the Madrot. Next, using the Caliburn to gain some life points here, and just going Battle Phase to attack over the MK2 here. Main phase 2 going to overlay for the Sacred Noble Knight, because these are level 5s. Again, they had the opportunity, if they really wanted to Fiendish Chain to stop this from happening, again, because of the level modulation via the effect. Though I guess End Speed really wants to take advantage of the fact that they dropped the Max C, and they had drawn into a Geargia gear, so that is at least something. Here, the Sacred Noble Knight is going to attempt to use its effect, but that will now meet the Fiendish Chain. So at least they got their draw out of it. Here, End Speed will draw a copy of Arsenal for turn, normal summon Arsenal, use the ability to special summon a copy of Armor and flip it face down, setting to back row, back over to Eternal Sunshine, who now gets a copy of Forbidden Lance, so that is very good. And they have this Mind Control, very good. Here they're going to use the Excalibur to banish it to do the whole rank up thing, though let me quickly read this real quick. So real quick, the Excalibur rank up part of the effect says, let me just quickly find it here. You can banish this card from your graveyard, target one Noble Knight Xyz monster you control, special summon from your extra deck one Noble Knight Xyz monster with a different name. Okay, so that's what I wanted to check, because they went for the Sacred Noble Knight into the other Sacred Noble Knight, which they aren't able to do, so hopefully they do catch that here. And, oh, nope, they'd catch it right away. Okay, so I didn't even have to read that. So let's see if they're actually still going for that play. They are just going to go for the regular Artorigus here, which can then use its ability to equip some. But that is going to be met with the Breakthrough Skill, but Eternal Sunshine did draw into that Lance, so they are good to equip the Excalibur, or the, my bad, a Caliburn, the Destiny, and the Arfaduder. And now they're going to just adjust the attacks, use the Caliburn to gain a little bit of life. I believe they gained a little bit of life here, and then they are going to use the Artorigus effect, which can pop spell and traps, and it looks like the Geargia gear is going to be chained to that, summoning the Geargiano and the MK2. Let me see something. Oh, because it technically is still equipped, but it's not gaining the boosts or anything because they did Lance. So that is something to keep in mind, but the equips don't fall off in this situation, which is something to note here. But here the Arfaduder is able to pop the armor, which is really good, and then now it's really weak, but it can still get over the MK2, which is kind of funny here. And then main phase 2, the Guinevere will be able to equip to the Artorgus, and then Excalibur is able to equip here. So now this can't be targeted, and then once it becomes the end phase, or I guess the next turn, then it will gain all the stuff and the stats and stuff back, minus obviously the Arfaduder ability that made it lose attack. Anyways, end speed draws into an MK2, which is all right here, and let's see what they're going to go for. Because there is still, I guess, an H.A.T play because this is a level 4 because it was summoned off a Geargia gear, but it still doesn't really put them in a winning position. Here they're going to summon Ice Hand. This will be able to chew through some of this back row maybe. So crashing in the Ice Hand to pop the Guinevere, summoning a copy of Fire Hand, and it kind of just ends here, main phase 2 going Geargiano to summon back the armor, overlaying for H.A.T, okay. Using the H.A.T to destroy everything, obviously the Sacred Noble Knight is protected here. And then all the equips are going to try to re-equip, or at least all the ones that can re-equip are going to try to re-equip. So next H.A.T will be activated again. And again, because it was re-equipped, the Destiny does give it the protection one more time. Over to Eternal Sunshine, who is going to draw a copy of Noble Knight Brothers, summon the Brothers, and oh, they're using the ability to shuffle. For a second, I was like, are they trying to summon nothing, which they wouldn't be able to do? Putting back Brothers, Artorgus, and Arfaduder, and drawing into a copy of Lance. Next, using the Excalibur to rank up the Artorgus, which can then equip a bunch, and they're going for the Caliburn Destiny, and then using the Guinevere to equip. Next, using the Noble Knight to pop the H.A.T, and this actually isn't able to attack here. It says this card can only attack if you control exactly 3 Noble Knight monsters, and no other monsters, so they can't actually attack with that. Hopefully they catch it. I believe they did, because I don't see any... Oh, wait, no, they did take the damage from that. We'll see if that even matters, but yeah, this shouldn't be able to attack in this exact situation because of the lack of Noble Knights. And anyways, over to End Speed, who gets a DD Crow, and yeah, no, that is the game regardless. So luckily that attack with Brothers didn't really matter there. And I guess also kind of interesting they didn't even set the Lance there. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it. Comment any questions or videos you want to see in the future. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell to get notified anytime I put a new video out. Share this video with your friends. And don't forget to go down to the video description to find out how you can send in your hat format replays. But anyways, guys, I will see you in the next video.